What's new, pussycat? Welcome to my channel. My name is Emma Cownley. I'm a freelance copywriter and blogger, and today I'm going to be taking you through my mid-year freelance Filofax setup. I did a video in November last year, kind of giving you a tour of my 2022 Filofax setup that I'm kind of using to run my personal life and my freelance business. You guys seemed really into it. It got a lot more traction than I thought it would. I'm a huge Filofax fanatic, and I kind of figured that nobody else felt the same way until that video. And I had somebody request kind of a mid-year update to see whether or not my system has changed and anything new that I might have brought in or switched out. And in fact, it has changed from what I thought I was going to be doing and using this year. So I'm going to give you a quick little update and just show you around and just go over it with you. And then I'm going to follow up at the end of the year with a setup for 2023. So if you fancy it, subscribe and like this video and leave a comment below if there's anything that you do in your diary that you think I would really like. And if you've got any questions, just let me know. You can also find me on Twitter and LinkedIn. I'll leave all the information for you below, as well as a link to Ko-fi where you can leave a donation for me if you'd like to. And without further ado, let's go through my diary. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to notice is that I have added a holiday planner to my Filofax. This is just the page that comes when you order your brand new sheets, and because I was so shit at taking holiday last year, I thought if I commit it to paper and have it kind of as a top-down year view of the whole year, it would be much easier for me to see when holiday is coming up and to see the kind of spread of the holiday over the course of the year. I mean, I really like that I've used highlighter, but also my holiday in March changed. My holiday in May is not happening anymore, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to take off more days in April because I'm moving house. So this is already subject to change and I can't actually alter this because it's highlighter. But the fact of the matter remains that by adding it to a calendar and writing it down and plotting it out at the start of the year, I was kind of able to commit to myself, as it were, that I'm going to take more holidays, that I'm not going to get burned out again. And I just thought this was a really nice thing to add. So it was a little free page, and I just had the idea at the beginning of the year to add it down, so I did it. The next thing that you might notice is that I have done away with my Dutch door. I was originally planning to keep my little flap of paper that has my workouts, my meal plan, my to-do list on it. But really, when you think about it, I've got this bookmark. I've got my Adam Driver bookmark and then another slip of paper. It was all beginning to feel a little bit heavy, and I mean, you can't really see it in the pages of my old diary, but all these Dutch doors were adding so much extra bulk to the pages, and it meant that I couldn't add new sections in for legitimate planning. So in the end, I decided to do away with it. And I've kind of got this page set up that I initially remember telling you I didn't like because it starts on a Sunday, which really pissed me off. I like it when it starts on a Monday and runs through the week so I can see everything on a double page spread, and I accidentally bought these pages which start on a Sunday. Wasn't impressed initially, but the added plus that these pages have is this blank section up here. And so I decided, instead of using my Dutch door, I'm going to create a nice little kind of borders around the edge here and use that as my weekly to-do list, and then kind of cross them out or carry them over as things happen. So that's what I've done. And you'll also notice that my mini calendar is missing. I bought a little tiny calendar from WH Smith that I had planned to kind of stick to my bookmarks so that I could see the month top down as well as seeing the week on one open spread. And that's before I realised they've already done it for me, and they had done it for me in my original calendar. It's just because it was down here in the corner, I never fucking saw it. So I've started using this as my top down month view, which is really useful because, as you can see, I've already highlighted the holidays on here as well. So as the weeks progress, I can see myself moving closer to it. I know how far away it is. If I need to give my clients notice that I'm going to be taking time off, I can see when that will be approaching me there. So that's my little update for that. I'm still using my stickers, so nothing much has changed there. And I'm still colour coding my days to match my Trello board, so nothing much has changed there either. You also notice that I'm still doing my monthly overview. My tarot card for the month sits here. My to-do list sits here. My mastermind notes for the month sit here. This is the moon that it's going to be in March, is the storm moon, and this is where I tick whether or not I have checked my boobs. You should check your boobs every month. Give them a little check, and that way if anything goes awry, you know when you last checked them, and you know how long it's been for something too sinister to have emerged, and it's just helpful information to have should the worst happen. So I always make a note of when I've checked them in here. And similarly, I am using my menstrual cycle tracker as well. I've actually started tracking the phases of my cycle, the luteal phase, follicular phase, the ovulation phase, and just kind of charting how I'm feeling in those phases, because I've started to notice really definitive changes in mood and physiology, and I just kind of like to be on top of it, so I've started adding that as well. Another little addition is this brand new divider that I've put in, because I regularly come to the back section of my Filofax for my goal tracker, which is still exactly the same as I'd hoped it to be. In fact, I've already managed to achieve 2 of my goals for the year, and I'm on track for some of the more long-term ones, so that's great. But I was finding that it was difficult for me to find it because this isn't really good enough. And with this little tab up top here, Vampire Lestat makes for a really good tab. It's so easy for me to get to the back section. So I've added him in, and I've also added in this wins card where I can list out my little successes. I do have a weekly wins spreadsheet that I use for my business, but before I decided to start doing that, I thought I'd add this card in. It was a little freebie that I got from one of the stationery companies on Etsy that I order my washi tape from, and rather than throw it in the bin, I thought I would repurpose it. That's what I did. I started noting down my content ideas for spring, summer, autumn and winter in this note section. I've kind of made this note section quite formalised. They've got little headers and whatnot. I've got a reading list. One of my goals for the year is to read a book a month. And as you can see, I'm already well on track. At the time of filming, it's the end of March, and I think I've already gotten through 10 books across Audible and also physical reading. So that's going well. I've got a brain dump page where I just add any and all notes. A gift list. Look guys, okay, I am a Libra. I'm a woman who knows what she likes. I don't like getting gifts that I can't use. I don't like toot. I'm not a collector. I don't want a lot of shit in my house. I feel horrible when I get gifts that I don't like and can't use because it feels ungrateful and it feels like I'm being a hoarder. So what I do throughout the course of the year is note down things that I really like that I would never buy for myself. I'm notoriously cheap. I don't like spending money. I feel horribly guilty about spending money on anything. So I have this kind of little list that I add to throughout the year, and then when it gets to my birthday in September and people ask me what I want, I already have a fully fledged list, so there's none of this whole, oh I don't know, oh I'm not sure, no mate, I know exactly what every person is going to be getting me. I know what I want, and anything that I don't ask for on my birthday, I roll over to December and I ask for in December at Christmas. So this is my gift list. This is my list of house bits for when I move. So as you can see, the notes section has been utilised. Budget section, absolutely, still going strong. And addresses, similarly, still going strong. So those are really the main differences that I wanted to point out. And I think it's really important to always be adapting your Filofax or your diary for actually how you live and what's convenient or useful to you. For example, I pure thought those Dutch doors were amazing when I came up with the idea. It was nice to see my meal plan in front of me and my workout plan in front of me and kind of have all of those bits listed together. But when I think about it, making and writing out those doors for every single week was just a fucking pain in the arse. And I wasn't really looking at them. And when it came down to it, the amount of effort far outweighed the actual use of the thing. It's much easier and nicer nowadays for me just to kind of quickly colour these in and, you know, add any to-do bits up here. Bish bash bosh. It's not a chore to set things up. Now when it comes to these pages, obviously they are a little bit more elaborate, but they're a pleasure to do. Do you know what? They are an actual pleasure to do. I like to put on a podcast or a YouTube video and sit down and really take my time kind of styling these nicely. I have a little folder of bits that I save, that I cut out and save as I'm going through my magazines. Anything that catches my eye that I think would make a nice little embellishment, I cut it out, I put it in this little Ziploc folder and I save it. And then I start to kind of bring them all together into a design. So it's really pleasurable for me. I love scrapbooking and papercraft, so this is just very fun. It's not time consuming at all, I don't mind it. But yeah, that's basically how my Filofax has changed from what my original plan was until now. It will be interesting to see at the end of the year whether or not I keep any of these systems or whether I change things up. So I guess we'll see. So yeah, let me know what you thought, if you have any suggestions for me, or if you want any tips and advice on what you're doing for your Filofax. And I guess I'll check in with you again at the end of the year to get set up for 2023. I'll be doing a stationery haul to show you everything that I've gotten for my new diary and kind of listing out all of the sellers and showing you. And I may even do a live journal setup on Zoom with some of my freelance colleagues who are interested in doing their journals as well. So there's Christ knows what's going to happen. It's going to be very exciting anyway, especially if you like diaries like I do. So hope to see you back here then. If not, join me again in 2 weeks for more Kiss My A's. Take care and peace out.